The Honor brand is Huawei's foray into offering top-end specs and features for a mid-range price tag. And this mantra holds true for Honor's latest device and my first Android phone, the Honor 7. Before the review though, two things. Yes, this is my first Android phone. I'm not a massive techie, I just really like tech. So don't hate if I don't cover the phone exactly like Basil does. Just think of this as a Gina review, because that's what it is. Secondly, subscribe, and that's how you'll be able to keep up with all the Gina reviews to come. And the Basil ones too, I suppose. Right, let's get into it. Looking at the phone, it immediately feels more expensive than it actually is because of that sandblasted metal backing. The metal wraps around the side of the phone too, giving it a feeling of strength and durability. The back camera is also protected by its sapphire crystal camera lens, which helps keep it scratch-free, and right underneath that camera is the fingerprint sensor. It's 8.5mm thick and weighs 157 grams, and comes in two colours, the silver review device we have, or a darker, more masculine gunmetal grey. Up the top of the phone we have a 3.5mm headphone jack, and at the other end we have a micro USB charging port. In testament to this phone's durability, I managed to drop it off my kitchen counter onto hardwood floors. To my relief, it only suffered a small amount of scuffing on the top right-hand corner, and no damage to the glass display. Overall, it's a sleek, beautifully designed device which looks and feels more expensive than it is. The screen sports a 5.2-inch 1080 by 1920 display with a pixel density of 424 ppi. The screen is incredibly clear, sharper than my iPhone, and while brightness at 100% isn't overly bright, it's still good enough. It's not an AMOLED, it's an IPS screen, but there's still a good amount of pop, and blacks are sufficiently deep. When outside and in sunlight, the screen remains viewable with some reflectivity. Not the best, but far from the worst, and the glass feels of a premium when thumbing through the UI. Speaking of, the UI is the first indication that the Honor 7 isn't as expensive as it looks. Huawei loads its phones with an Android skin called Emotion UI. This has been designed for a Chinese market, so it's heavy on graphics and feels superfluous. The result is a sort of love child between Android and iOS. Huawei has removed the stock Android applications tray, which means you'll have to flip through your home screen to find the application you're after. They're no longer in one place. It also changes the pull-down notifications tab. While in stock Android you can pull down your notifications and pull down further to see your quick settings, with the Honor 7 you have a tab for both. With Emotion UI, the choice of themes you have to help customize your phone is huge, literally hundreds, or what feels like hundreds, of options to choose from. You can also customize transitions, grid sizes, the list goes on. It's all incredibly overwhelming and feels terribly unnecessary. I also found the standard keyboard incredibly fiddly. I'd recommend downloading an app like SwiftKey to avoid looking like a grammatical newbie. Under the UI is Android Lollipop, although beta testing on Marshmallow is about to begin and a rollout to all handsets can be expected within the first quarter of 2016. There are some voice control and gesture features, but to be honest, I'd be happier if it was all cleaner and only sported Google Now. On the Plus, one thing I love is the ability to customize your smart key. That's the button on the left-hand side of the phone. You can set the button to open up 3 different applications by pressing once, double tapping, or holding down. So set one to open Facebook, one to open Instagram, and the other to open Twitter, and you're away laughing. The fingerprint scanner also helps you navigate your way around the phone. Aside from unlocking your phone, you can swipe down on the scanner to open your notifications tab, which is brilliant for those with small hands. Gaming-wise, the Honor 7 is very competitive given how much money you've spent on the phone. While it's not amazing, it's better than most in the price bracket and played back every game Basil threw at it without lag or overheating. The screen is the same resolution as the much pricier Sony Xperia Z5, so offers a similar media experience in that respect. Unfortunately, the phone's speaker is bottom firing by comparison. You'll easily cover it with your hand if you're holding the phone in landscape, muting the sound. When not covered, the sound is loud though a bit shrill, so I keep headphones at hand. Being Android, all multimedia apps like Netflix, Spotify and Kindle are available through Google Play. There's a 20 megapixel back camera with a dual LED flash and an 8 megapixel front camera which also sports an LED flash. A very weird feature on the front camera is the option to shoot selfies in beauty mode, which can enlarge your eyes, smooth out your skin tone, and slim down your face. When I tried it, I came out looking somewhat like an anime character. Panorama mode is also now an option for the front camera for large-scale group selfies. Huawei calls this groovy. I'm not sure that'll catch on. Other fun shooting modes include good food for that perfect close-up of breakfast, as well as light painting mode. Designed for use in low light, light painting instructs the camera to continue taking pictures until manually stopped by the user, and the end effect shows the moving light. Personally, I found the camera to be rather slow functioning and not brilliant in low light when in a regular shooting mode, but under the right circumstances it will take an excellent clear picture. For video, the Honor 7 shoots in 1080p and the quality is pretty average. The Honor 7 only comes with 16GB of internal storage, but has a slot for a micro SD card which can hold up to 128GB, so storage shouldn't be an issue. Connection-wise, it has 4G capability, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity. Under the hood is Huawei's octa-core 64-bit HiSilicon Kirin 935 processor, a Mali T628 MP4 GPU, and that 3GB of RAM. For your money, it's a relatively impressive lineup of hardware and benchmarks like a flagship from 2014, early 2015. Inside there's an ample 3100 mAh battery which charges from 0 to 100 in 115 minutes with a fast charger. I managed to get 2 days of use out of one charge as well, which is impressive. Granted, day 1 had moderate use and day 2 had light, but I still call that a win. So the Honor 7 and my first Android. It looks and feels like a phone double its price, and although it has an overbearing UI, it also takes great pictures, has fun shooting modes, has an awesome multimedia performance and awesome specs. So the pros outweigh the cons for me, and that's mostly because of the price. At £250 you are truly getting a phone that's punching above its weight. I hope you found that review useful, and if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's the only way you'll be able to keep up with everything I'm doing here at BTech. And while you're at it, be sure to head over to btech.com/plus, and there you'll find 15% off any Nomo accessory. Thanks for watching.